lord. I'm afraid you were right when you said these hostilities wouldn't end at Pribyslavitz.
That comes as no surprise.
What has happened?
The men reported 2 more attacks today.
Ah, Henry. I'm glad you're here. It seems like we'll have another task for you. Come and join us.
My lord.
Greetings, lad.
Bandits raided a few remote hamlets, but that's the least of our worries. They also attacked Merhoyed, and that's a much more serious matter.
Merhoyed. Matthias is working there.
They attacked right after the battle in Pribyslavitz. Bastards are probably trying to prove they're still strong. But there's a silver lining. The villagers held them off, and they even took 1 captive. He's wounded, but we can still interrogate him.
Your Graces, I hope I'm not intruding.
On the contrary, Master Tobias. Unlike Bernard, you are the bearer of good tidings. Or so I gather from the coin you carry. Tell me, how many groschen did we find in Pribyslavitz?
My lord, I'm sorry, but my news is no better than Captain Bernard's. These coins are very good. That is to say, well-made facsimiles, as we call them.
What? I don't give a what you call them. I want to know what they're facking worth.
That's just it, sir. They're worth nothing.
Are you saying what I think you're saying, Master Tobias? This here
is just a pile of copper.
Kurva! Fuck!
Plated with silver, so it's still of some worth.
Kurva! Fuck!
Is it a lot of work to make such counterfeits, Master Tobias?
I should say so, sir. Highly demanding work. Especially to make such plausible forgeries. They would need a well-hidden foundry, several craftsmen, and a source of material.
But they could just be brought in from somewhere else, could they not?
Well, they could, but then again the silver mines are nearby and these groschen seem freshly minted, so...
So we are facing a foe who has almost limitless sources of coin. That's all we need.
Doppelder.
Well, gentlemen, it's clear what we have to do. Interrogate that captive bandit, find out their numbers, and promptly cut off their supply of money. Otherwise, they'll soon have another encampment.
If they haven't already.
I doubt it, sir. Merhoyed wouldn't have been able to hold them off if they did.
Well, lad, I said we'd have work for you, but it never crossed my mind there would be this much. You've already proved your worth as an investigator, so I'm putting my faith in you again. Go to Merhoyed and question that captive. Find out where those brigands are hiding, how many there are, and what they're planning. And while you're at it, see if you can find some clues as to where this counterfeit coin is coming from.
Very well, sir.
Good luck. We're counting on you, all of us. Come report to me as soon as you know anything. I'll be at the lookout point near Talmberg.
Are you blind for Christ?
Yeah.
Thank you, Hal. Thank you.
Think nothing of it. The main thing is everything worked out well.
It did, thank you. And I want you to have this. God almighty, I've got Alishka. After all these years, me, the executioner, has the woman he loves.
Good health.
I'd like to order something here.
So what are you interested in? But of course.
Fine. Here it.
I'm sure...
Are you deaf? Down! What's with you?
Yeah.
Yeah!
Greetings. What?
Sir, can I ask you about something?
Of course, Henry.
Well, I thought since we chased the bandits out of Pribyslavitz, the roads would be safer.
Ah, criticizing your liege lord, are you? And what, in your opinion, should he do about it?
Oh no, I don't mean anything by it. Just that it surprises me.
Easy, lad. I'm only pulling your leg. You're quite right. The roads really aren't safe. Mostly due to one thing. My garrison is a shamble these days. I lost most of my men in Skalitz, and what I'm left with after Pribyslavitz is hardly enough even to guard Pigstein. Let alone guarding the roads and patrolling the rest of the province. I simply don't have the men.
Uh-huh. I understand.
That is, I didn't have the men. As it happens, you've come at just the right time. Recently, I asked an old acquaintance for help. Sir Kuno of Rickwald and his mercenary band. The men who ride with him are a rough lot, mostly former convicts, but they're as capable as any squad of soldiers.
Excuse me for being so bold, but there's plenty of mercenaries around. Surely you can find a more respectable band?
You have a point, lad, but I'd like to tell you I talked to Kuno because I trust him. But actually my reasons are of a more pragmatic nature. You see, Kuno owes me a favour, so he'll serve me free of charge.
So, you want me to join them?
Yes, but that's not all. I told Kuno I'd send him a guide, but really what I need is for someone to keep a close eye on him and his men. Someone reliable, and I'd say you fit the part. Go and report to him at his encampment. You'll ride with his band on patrols and make sure they don't get too disorderly.
How is he indebted to you?
I did him quite a big service, actually. I saved him from the hangman.
Oh, that sounds like quite a story. How did it happen?
You should ask him. You'll be spending quite a while riding together, so it'll help pass the time. But one thing I can tell you, he seems to have taken inspiration from me. A lot of his men had their own encounters with the executioner too.
Who is this Sir Kuno of Rickwald?
He's the last baron of the House of Rickwald, which became impoverished. So he took to the mercenary trade, like many poor noblemen do, unless they become robbers, which often isn't all that different. He's certainly an entertaining companion, but as a mercenary, well, let's just say he has his own particular approach to certain matters.
That sounds a little worrying.
Oh, it's nothing too bad. Just that now and again he needs reminding not to step over the line.
All right, I'll go and report to him.
Excellent. He set up camp between Ratai and Ledechko. It's a good base for covering the province. Good luck, Henry. And watch out for yourself.
I will, sir. Thanks.
Take care.
God save.
The herbalist Kunhuta sent me. I'm here because of the ghost.
You don't look like you know a thing about ghosts. Why didn't she come herself? Why did she send someone so young instead? Do you know anything at all about exorcisms?
She was in too much pain to make the journey. But you can trust me. I know what I'm doing.
You'd better. Well, get to work then.
There's a few things I need to know first.
I'd rather you just got on with it. But I don't suppose I've got any choice. So ask.
What exactly has been going on?
It happens at night. Every night now an apparition comes to me and I can't get a wink of sleep. I can't take it anymore.
Whose ghost is it?
His name was Alois and he had a farm not far from Ledechko. A few years ago, his farmhouse burned down with him in it.
I've heard that people who die such horrible deaths seldom rest in peace. Why do you think he chose you of all people?
How am I supposed to know? Maybe because we're neighbours. We grew up together as children.
I suppose that makes sense. Where is Alois buried? For the exorcism, I'll need flowers from his grave.
He's laid to rest in the Sasau cemetery by the wall. His grave is a bit overgrown with vines. I've been there a few times for a visit. The first day he appeared, I prayed at his grave, but he came again just the same.
I know everything I need to know.
Then for God's sake, perform the ritual as soon as possible. May the Lord watch over you.
Good day.
The Lord... Can I be of service to you, Sir Divish?
Henry, you've come at just the right moment. I sent a man to Pribyslavitz. My locator, Marius.
What's a locator?
A land allocator. I charged him with checking on the condition of the settlement to see if we can start rebuilding it.
Why Pribyslavitz of all places?
Because it's been lying fallow and falling into ruin since it was sacked by Havelmedic years ago. It's about time that changed.
You're planning to resettle the village?
Yes.
Well, it should be safe there now. We trounced that rabble on the battlefield.
Yes, and that's why I sent my master locator there. However, he should have been back long since.
If you've no objection, I could go and look for him.
I'd appreciate that. He probably just got delayed. But I'd be happier if you checked it out. Goodbye.
I know you. I remember that ugly mug. What a piece of luck!
Want to earn a bit of coin? Stop and talk a while at least. There's plenty of coin in it.
Blood will be spilt! Hey, who's there? What have we got here? Oh, dear God.
Yeah.
I hope I can be...
Any chance of some work?
Well, come to think, there is one rather delicate matter to attend to. A while ago, a holy man came by here. He said he'd come from the Holy Land, and he was selling various relics he'd collected on his travels to pay his way.
I see.
Well, I heard he had some fragments of a sacred sword that once belonged to the fabled Czech Queen of Sheba. But by the time he reached me, he had no pieces left of the sword. All he had was some dubious wares, splinters from our Lord's cross, thorns from the crown, nothing of interest to me.
And where did the pieces of the sword go?
He sold them off to swordsmiths and blacksmiths hereabouts. They just keep them lying around at home for good luck. If I had them, I'd forge them back into a sword. Can you even imagine what power it would command? If you could get me all the pieces of the sword, I'd repay you very handsomely.
Are you sure the Queen of Sheba's a Czech queen?
Who else would she be? Have you not heard of her? Our some priest. She's in the Bible.
Uh-huh. I could do with a sword like that. What if you sold it to me?
Well, everything has its price, but this one would be expensive. Getting hold of the bits is one thing. Forging them back together is quite another. That tinkerer from Ratite couldn't manage it.
Well, it does sound very interesting. I'll ask them and see what I can do.
Excellent. You'll see you won't regret it. I'll pay you well.
About that sword. I could do with a sword.
Well,
Where can I find the power?
like I said, the smith hereabouts bought them from him.
Farewell.
Yeah.
I found it. Now, right. Now back to Drahamir. Get this thing over with.
I'm honored. I'll be with you.
Jesus Christ be praised. How may I serve? Good luck then.
I'm back with the incense.
Good. Let's go to... Well, what are you waiting for?
I feel a bit out of my depth.
Now you tell me. Well, get started. You've got the flowers, so it has to work.
Well, here goes. Pater noster quiest incarnis sanctificator omen tuum.
Are you sure you're saying that right?
Shh! I mustn't be interrupted. In nominate parties et filiis et spirits etc. Ave Maria gratia plenti dominatrix tecum. Glory be to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. O Lord, may he rest in eternal peace, and may eternal light guide his way. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Please God, I can finally sleep in peace at night. Come by tomorrow to see if it worked. Hey!
Yeah.
I'm honored that you should come.
I've heard that some time ago a pilgrim from the Holy...
Would it surprise you if I said yes? Why do you ask?
I'd buy the piece from you.
Well, why not? I don't know why I let myself get bamboozled into buying it. It's quite useless, and I can't say I've had good luck ever since. God be with you.
I'm glad to see.
You went to Skalitz on your own, didn't you? That took guts.
Not really. It took me a while before I could work up the courage.
That was sensible of you. I went back straight away, and I almost got killed.
I know. I heard. That's part of the reason I was so nervous.
And how did it go? Did you do everything you wanted?
There wasn't anything to do. Someone already did it before me. I wasn't even able to catch that thieving bastard.
What thief?
Some shady-looking character. Whole face smeared with soot. He shot out of the basement as soon as I went by and ran away with his loot. I got such a scare. I didn't think about running after him, and he stole absolutely everything. Even our new kettle.
What did he look like?
I didn't get a good look at him. He was covered in soot, and his sack of loot was so full, he had the kettle tied to it on the outside. It was gleaming.
A sooty man, a big sack, and a new kettle. Of course, he could clean himself up and throw away the sack. Maybe it was a devil. Or a charcoal burner.
You know, it really could have been a charcoal burner. That sack definitely looked like a charcoal burner's sack, and there are a lot of those around Rovna, so he wouldn't have far to go.
What was it he took from your place?
I don't know. My father told me never to talk about it.
What harm is there in telling me now? I can't steal it. Someone got there before me.
That's true. My father hid some money and valuables there. There was a jeweled cross he wanted to give Bianca as a dowry.
What did the cross look like?
Why do you ask?
Well, if I saw it somewhere and...
What? You want to look for it?
Well, like I said, if I see it or hear something about it, we'll see.
That would be so kind. I've nothing left. If I had that cross, at least I'd have something to remember them all by. The cross itself was silver, and it had a small red ruby in the middle, like a heart, and it was hanging on a red string. Take care.
God save you. What can I do for you?
I heard that a pilgrim was selling bits of a sacred sword a while ago. Did he visit you by any chance?
I don't know anything about it.
Really?
Really? Are you trying to suggest I'm lying?
I'm on.
Do you know if there's anyone around here?
Could be. Go see Armand, the executioner. Long as you got the stomach for dealing with a fella that's cursed. Good boy.
Scarlet's good folk.
What's going on? The folk in town are talking about you.
They shot on me. That's what.
What? Who did?
All of them.
Wait. Tell me again from the start.
All right, if you want.
Here, enjoy it.
They caught Peter of Dauba, George Weiss, and a fellow named Harold that everyone calls Frost. They're scum who've been hunted for months. Now they've finally been caught, there's a big execution being prepared. Folk will come from miles around to watch.
Well, that's a good thing for you, isn't it?
It would be, if I was fucking doing it.
Isn't it the custom for you to do all the executions in Rattay?
It is. Not just the custom, but by bloody right. You're not being replaced, they said. This is just a loan of Gallows Hill.
Well, there must be some reason for it.
If you know of one, spit it out.
So who's doing the job?
They invited Executioner Heinz all the way from Kuttenberg. They say it's going to be a big show. Have I ever fucked up an execution? I always behead them in one blow. And when his lordship wants to drag out a hanging, I leave them kicking for minutes. If he wants it quick, they're stiff as soon as I drop them. And they push me aside like that, after all these years of service.
Oh, dear me.
What can we do about it?
Nothing. His lordship's decided, and that's that.
Nothing? You think they should be allowed to get away with this?
Well, no, but...
You have the right to executions in Rattay, don't you?
I most certainly do.
Then you're in the right. Don't tell me you can't think what to do about it.
The trouble is, they already paid the executioner and he's come here along with his assistants.
We can't stop the executions, unless Hines drops dead on the spot.
Maybe that could be arranged?
How? I'm an honorable man. What the hell are you suggesting?
It's just a joke. I didn't mean it.
A bloody stupid joke. The best thing would be if he fucked up the executions. The famous Cuttenberg executioner can't handle the job. The mob would laugh him out of town and beg me to take over. They'd never invite him here again.
Great, so how do we go about it?
The problem is, I don't know what the sentences will be. They'll only announce them just before the executions, and then it'll be too late to do anything.
Would the bailiff know more?
Maybe, but most likely only Heinz will know the sentence. I've got an idea, though. Will you help me?
Of course.
Great. Thank you, Henry.
So where should I start?
Find out from the bailiff what their crimes are, and then have a look in the Black Chronicle at the Rat House.
It goes back before my time. You're bound to find records of some similar offenders in it. You need to find people who committed the same crimes, and came from the same sort of background, noble or lowborn. That way you can find out what the appropriate punishments are.
Then come back to me, and we'll work out what to do.
I'll get moving.
And Henry? They want to do the executions on my gibbet at Gallows Hill. I can hold them up for a while, but probably no more than a week.
I'll bear that in mind.
And if he doesn't like it,
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
There's nothing here for you.
Someone there. What do you reckon? Is that battle in Privy Slavitz put an end to the trouble?
Come now, what are you saying?
All the raiding and looting.
Watch what you're doing! There's people walking here! That's the daftest thing I've heard today. When I think how you wiped the floor with the miller.
Ah, that was easy. He was talking utter nonsense.
Everyone believed him, though, until you put him in his place.
Even you?
Well, look, you're not a stupid woman, and I'm not the brightest star in the sky.
That's a clever way of putting it. Will you come tomorrow? I have a new song from the peddler. We can give it a go.
Nice and warm today. I'll be there.
gorgeous.
powder made of the bones of
Thomas.
So, did it work?
Oh, you're here, are you? You're lucky I didn't have to get you myself. No, it didn't work. The spirit came just the same as before, and I didn't sleep a wink.
So you're saying I won't get my reward?
You get paid for results, my dear, and I haven't seen any yet. At least now I know that old wives' law doesn't help. Go and see Apothecary Coniash in Ratai. I hear he's familiar with all manner of magic.
Fine. I'll go and see the apothecary. Hopefully we'll come up with something that works.
God save you, good night.
What are you doing? Are you poaching here?
What the hell are you on about? I just found it is all.
You were cutting it up right here on the road.
What of it? A corpse doesn't need possessions.
It'll be easier for you if you confess.
All right then. I did it. I needed food. The Cumans burned us out. The brigands took everything. Everything. You don't have to tell anyone, you know. And you won't regret it.
No need for that, I understand. Go, quick. Get out of here and don't come back.
Goodbye.
Friend, come closer. I have an enticing offer for you.
What's the matter?
Ah, nothing's the matter.
I see.
We could have a little bout of combat, for the sake of practice.
All right, why not?
Finally.
Aye, I have.
Fine, let's go.
Yeah. Fucking come on then. God.
What's that?
What are you after, young fella?
So, it's all clear to me now.
What is? Who are you? You've no business here.
I'm Henry, and I was expecting to find you here.
What? How could you?
Sir Divish's locator went missing around these parts.
Well, it seems like he's all out of luck, don't it? Divish ought to have sent someone better than you to parley.
He didn't send me to parley, he sent me to deal with it.
Deal with it? There's plenty of us and you're on your own. So I think twice about how you're going to deal with that.
Who's there? What's that?
I reckon you ought to take what you can while you can, before Sir Divish turns up with his cavalry.
What's that? Who's there? Hey, who's there?
It's enough to keep you drinking for a month.
And whoring? I knew this would be a fine trade. That fella's in the tent over there.
Hey. Thank you.
My pleasure. Sir Divish sent me to find you, and it looks like I arrived just in time.
God's truth.
I'm Henry of Scalitz.
My name is Marius Bielek, Master Locator. Sir Divish sent me here to survey the area.
Well, the outlaws are out of the way, so we can go and report to him, right?
Not just yet. Those bastards caught me as soon as I arrived, and so far all I've seen is the inside of the tent they tied me up in. I still have a job to do. Come along with me if you like. We'll report to Sir Divish afterwards.
I'll escort you then. At least I can make sure you don't get caught again.
What? Are there more of those bandits around?
No, I just meant... Never mind. Should we get going?
Henry, what are you doing with that weapon in your hand? That's forbidden. Put it away.
It can have its own little square, close to the church. There's no better site here. The church is still standing. Good. Good. Whoever built it did a good job. Considering how old it is and what it's been through recently, it stood up well. It won't be an easy job to fix it, but it can be done. Timber alone won't do, though. We could fit at least one tradesman's shop. Maybe a baker's? Quite a lot of space here. It just needs clearing thoroughly. Then we could even fit stables here. Main approach road and the stream. This bridge needs reinforcing. It won't last long in this condition. I reckon it would make sense to build a weir over the stream down there. The water can be used to supply the village until we sink a well. It's a good thing we have this stream. No point in building without a water source. Supplies and trade will flow through here. I can't even see past the trees and ruins whether there's room for anything there. But at least the trees are strong and healthy. What we need is a few good woodcutters, and we won't have to bring in any timber from elsewhere. Stone foundations. They'll come in handy, and we're close to the stream. Lots of space here. There's a well here already. All the better. Big space, clean water, close to the village green. A good site for an inn. That's that then. The most essential surveying is done.
So, Master Locator, ready to start building?
There's a long way to go before that. The few ruins that are left are basically beyond repair. It's all overgrown with brush.
Oh dear.
We'll have to get it all cleared before we can start rebuilding it.
So it is possible to rebuild everything?
Yes, absolutely.
But building a whole village is no small enterprise.
We'll need timber, lots of it, which isn't a problem in the middle of the woods, of course. We'll have to hire wage labor to begin with. Quite a lot of men. I think we should get started without delay. There's a lot of work involved, but it'll be well worth the effort. I can just imagine it. The church will dominate the whole settlement.
Oh, that's good news. When will you inform Sir Divis?
Why wait? I'll head to Talmberg right away. But would you keep an eye on things here in the meantime? It would be rather embarrassing to run into more bandits when I return with Sir Divish.
No problem. I'll be right here.
It shouldn't take us long. My lord, welcome to Pribyslavitz. That is to say, welcome back to Pribyslavitz after all these years. Well, what's left of it.
Not to worry, Marius. I'm glad to be back in my old hamlet. Although it seems to have aged about as gracefully as I have over the years.
I beg to differ, sir. It's quite dilapidated, unlike your good self, but at least it's safe now. Thanks in part to Henry here, who also saved me from a predicament that cost me valuable time. Who knows? If it hadn't been for him, we might not even be talking now.
Well, lad, in the end, you managed things in your own way, I see. Just as you said you would.
I did my best, sir. I won't bother you with the details, sir. You have more important matters to attend to.
Let's get down to the matter in hand, shall we? What state is Pribyslavitz in?
Sir, in my official capacity as locator, I am gratified to inform you that the hamlet of Pribyslavitz may be renewed. And indeed it offers prospects of considerable expansion beyond its former limits.
Splendid. Finally, some good news for this province.
And badly needed, too.
So, what have you discovered so far? I want to know all the details.
We had a scout around.
We conducted a basic survey, from which we can make a preliminary outline of the parcels. I already have in my head an initial plan of what can be built where.
We should certainly have a church. I'd like to preserve the existing one.
That should present no serious obstacles. The building is in much better condition than we anticipated. But extensive reconstruction will be required.
That's to be expected.
There's a stream here, and a well, right in the middle of the village.
Yes, and there are abundant woods around. Clearing them will provide both extra land and timber supplies that we can use right away.
Right now, I believe we're standing on the village green, aren't we?
The future green, that is. The village centre will comprise at least 6 large buildings to begin with. We can't fit any more than that here, so there will be other buildings away from the square, in particular more extensive structures.
I'm glad to hear it. I never expected you'd find so much space here in the middle of the woods. The building work we're about to engage in is only the first part of my plan. Later, we'll clear more forest for agricultural land and build more farmhouses. But for now, we'll have to focus on more sensible goals.
As you wish, my lord.
Rebuilding a whole village must cost a king's ransom, though.
It's true it won't come cheap. Before the tradesmen settle here and start producing and trading, it will be necessary to invest a certain amount of capital.
A certain amount? How much exactly?
I wouldn't venture to state a precise amount at this point, but I expect it will come to some thousands, even tens of thousands of groschen.
That much? I hope you're good at haggling.
We shall, of course, attempt to procure everything at the best possible price. Nevertheless, I can assure you, my lord.
I hope I shall live to enjoy.
A village isn't a village without villagers. You'll need new subjects. Even preparing the ground for building will need lots of labour. Where can we find so many people, sir?
You sound skeptical, lad. But it's a good question. I've already given it some thought. I've agreed with Radzik and Hanish that we shall make an announcement in Rattay to invite people to move here and help with the construction, which will bring them many benefits, but also obligations. In addition, I expect the prospects of a new home will appeal to your former Skalitz neighbors more than a makeshift camp by the castle walls.
They'll be delighted, sir.
A splendid solution, sir. I've also been concerned about how to bring settlers here, but now it seems there will be no shortage of new inhabitants after all.
It seems things are finally looking up. We routed the bandits in battle, and Henry took care of the remnants. When can we get to work?
Right away, as far as I'm concerned. All we need is people and the necessary funds. And we'll need someone to keep order, at least in the interim.
True. I'll leave you some of my men.
If I may, I would recommend quickly appointing a bailiff to take responsibility for the renewal of the village, its coffers and its citizens.
True. First things first. Since you understand these matters best, you shall take charge of the land parceling and building works. You'll be available to the bailiff, but answerable directly to me.
I'd be honored, sir. Thank you.
And, as regards the office of bailiff, what about you, Henry?
Yes, sir?
You've proven yourself well. You've demonstrated that you're capable of solving problems, and you command the respect of your former Skalitz neighbors.
Well, I'm not so sure.
And you're also capable of maintaining law and order.
I must concur.
So, let us expedite matters. Henry, I hereby appoint you to the office of bailiff of the hamlet of Pribyslavitz, in my domain.
My lord, it's a great honor. Thank you.
You will oversee the initial renewal and administration of the village that will set the ground for further development. But don't imagine it'll be a bed of roses, lad. Being bailiff doesn't mean you can do whatever you like. If you don't treat the settlers rightly, I'll soon find out and relieve you of your office. Besides, we can't spare a single groschen from the Talmberg coffers now, with the province in chaos. So, you'll have to cover the cost for the building work from your own purse.
Me? But Marius said it would cost a fortune.
True, but from what I hear, you know how to get your hands on coin enough. So, I expect you'll manage it just fine.
I'd like to know who's been spreading such gossip.
And I am assigning you certain specific tasks. You must ensure the rebuilding of the church. That means complete reconstruction, wall paintings, and a new altar. See to it that in the future, the village will be capable of supporting a certain number of people. For that, you will need to ensure the construction of essential artisans' buildings. And ultimately, the village must produce sufficient earnings to fund further expansion.
But, sir, I've never done...
I understand your concerns, but you'll be handsomely rewarded. I shall grant you the proceeds from the whole village for the first 5 years, and you have my permission to use the surrounding woods and land as you see fit.
Well, that's, I mean... Are you sure I'm the right man for the job, sir? It's a lot of responsibility.
As you said yourself, Henry, it's a great honor. Besides, you won't be alone in it. I'll assist you and supervise the construction work.
Phew. All right, then.
So, we're agreed. You'll give this document to the Rattay bailiff. He'll make the announcement to invite settlers, which should ensure enough people to begin work. At the same time, your official appointment as bailiff will be announced.
I don't know what to say, sir.
I'm sure you won't disappoint me, Henry. And now I must get back to my duties at Talmberg. Send word when everything is prepared.
Certainly, sir. Have a safe journey.
Farewell, sir. What now?
Before we can start building as much as an outhouse, we'll have to get the whole area cleared.
Right. So I suppose I'd better get to Ratai first and see to that announcement.
Indeed. I'm sure the bailiff will be more than happy. I'll stay here for now and start planning the building plots. As soon as the...
Yeah. I hope I can be of help.
Have you been to Skalitz lately?
Skalitz? I thought that place burned down to the ground. What would I be doing there?
Someone there saw a charcoal burner rooting through the burned out buildings.
Well, if you know who it was, then why have you come to me?
I don't know who it was, just that it was a charcoal burner.
And how do you know that? Because he was grubby from ash in the middle of a town full of ash?
No, because he had a charcoal burner's sack.
And that's your evidence? Anyone can get that. There's plenty lying around a forge, and there's a lot of people wandering around there.
And did you see where they went?
Wherever it was, they all walked together like they were in a procession. I'm not sure exactly where they were headed, but it was south. To Samopesh, maybe, or Mehried, or Sassau. I wasn't paying too much attention.
All right, then. I believe you. But if I ever find out you've been...
No, don't worry. That won't happen. Take care.
God save you. Good.
Have you been to Skalitz lately?
What would I be doing there? Everything burnt down.
You're right, it all burned down. And how would you know that if you weren't there?
I went there as soon as Sigismund's army was gone. To search for my friends. And I found a few of them.
And?
Well, some people were already there. They were crying and digging graves, so I helped them bury their dead.
Where did you bury them?
Well, anyone who found any of their kin took them and laid them to rest here. We put the rest into one mass grave behind the courtyard, near the path to Townburg.
Why there?
That's where we found most of them.
Ah, I'm glad someone took care of them.
Aye, who'd want their bones scattered by dogs?
Take care now.
I'm honored that a knight...
Have you been to Skalitz lately?
Not since I ran away from there. Why do you ask?
Because someone saw you wandering around the houses there, poking around.
That's ridiculous. Like I said, I haven't been back since that horrible day.
If you don't tell me what I want to know, I'll make you regret it.
Jesus Christ, all right. I was there. But I came late. The good stuff had already been taken, and I didn't want to go poking around.
Carry on.
It was... Look, this is the rest of what I found. I don't want it. Just take it. Give it to the needy. Whatever you want.